Coming up tonight on YCN News, the new Abbott Library building opens in Sunapee. Unity residents tour the new school building. And New Hampshire is listed as having some of the least positive campaign advertisements in the nation. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening and welcome to this Thursday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Topping our news today are highlights of two building projects in two different towns.
The move went very well. We have over 37,000 items, and keeping them in order was of the utmost importance. We had many volunteers that helped us get the shelves ready in order, and we had to do a lot of measuring to make sure where we were putting things from the old library into the new library was going to fit properly. The volunteers were invaluable in all their help, and then we had hired movers that actually moved the books, and they had this great system with these rolling carts, and they did a fantastic job, and everything made it over and in order. We actually have two meeting rooms now that are available, so groups that want to use them can contact us and we can make arrangements for them to use the space. We have new computers for the children. We have iPads that have special literacy apps installed on them for the children. We have a 3D printer, which is in demonstration mode now, but that will be made available for public use as well. Our doors are open now, and materials can be taken out, and the computers can be used. We are open Mondays from 9 to 8, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 9 to 6, and Saturday, 9 to 3. On Saturday, November 15th, from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, we will have a grand opening celebration. We'll have some people here just giving a little tiny speech, thanking the many people that helped this project come together, and lots of good food and drinks and celebration.
What a difference 7 months can make for the town of Unity. In March, residents filled the seats at the Claremont Opera House to debate spending more money to complete the pre-K through grade 8 school. In the end, by ballot, the 276 to 90 vote meant passage of a $2.75 million bond to finish the school. Yesterday night, many of those residents at the March meeting joined school staff to tour the new building. Upper grade students led tour groups through the multi-story building, pointing out classrooms along the way. Teachers and students answered questions about classroom setups and heating and cooling the structure. The spaciousness of the school is apparent, especially in the gymnasium. That's where everyone gathered after the tours. The Stevens High School Band and Color Guard entertained guests, including younger students. Unity School Principal Chip Baldwin thanked the community for its support throughout a complicated and sometimes fretful building schedule. All of Unity's students last year attended Claremont schools because construction was a year behind schedule. Joining Baldwin last night were Superintendent Middleton McGoodwin and Construction Manager Ron Bauer of Trumbull Nelson. Bauer took over the construction for architect Scott Vaughn. School board members Prudence McCormick and Bob McDevitt also spoke to all those gathered for the celebration. Board Chairman Craig Shute greeted guests as well. As the rain continues to fall throughout west central and central New Hampshire, the National Weather Service in Gray, Maine issued today a flood warning. The warning extends through tomorrow for Sullivan and western Merrimack counties. Be alert for streams throughout our region that may overflow. Election day is just around the corner, and political campaigns are heating up. It's not uncommon to notice advertisements for or against local candidates while listening to the radio or even watching a video on YouTube. With states across the nation gearing up for voting, the Wesleyan Media Project did a report on a variety of trends in political advertisements. Focusing on ads within broadcast television, Wesleyan placed New Hampshire on two significant charts. Table 9 listed the least positive U.S. Senate races, with New Hampshire among 12 states mentioned. According to the data from Kantar Media/CMAG, with analysis by the Wesleyan Media Project, 23.4% of ads in the Senate race were positive, 31.1% were contrast, and 45.5% were purely negative. Next on the report, Table 10 listed the least positive gubernatorial races in the nation. New Hampshire made the top with only 3.1% of governors' ads being purely positive. The number of negative ads, however, did not make up the majority of commercials, as 37% were negative and 59.9% of ads were contrast. If you'd like to read more of this report, go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/YCN News Now for a link. When YCN News returns, a civil lawsuit is filed in U.S. District Court in Concord against the Crotched Mountain Rehabilitation School involving a 7-year-old boy from Sunapee.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. A civil lawsuit filed in U.S. District Court in Concord Wednesday against the Crotched Mountain Rehabilitation School involves a 7-year-old Sunapee boy. The suit alleges caretakers at the Greenfield Rehabilitation Facility abused the boy, the Boston Globe reports today. And the family of a 12-year-old girl from Vermont, also served by Crotched Mountain, also is named in the suit against the same aides and a classroom teacher at the facility for similar behavior. Physical or emotional abuse towards the two children is alleged. Attorneys Peter Alford and Todd Bowley of California filed the suit on behalf of both families, the paper reports. The suit alleges the school did not properly notify the boys or the girls' family of the purported abuse. The newspaper reports Crotched Mountain defended how it handled the alleged mistreatment toward the two children. The lawsuit seeks unspecified money, damages related to medical costs. The Crotched Mountain Foundation is the umbrella under which rehabilitation services, including the school, exist. Per its website, crotchedmountain.org, the nonprofit foundation was founded in 1953 to serve children and adults with disabilities and assist their families. The foundation's entire campus spans 1,400 acres. An outpatient clinic and athletic facilities are among its offerings. Keene, New Hampshire police and state police continue to receive information regarding the identity of those involved in last Saturday's riot. The chaos happened on streets just beyond the Keene State College campus, just as festival goers along Main Street were enjoying the annual Pumpkin Festival. The distances between the festival and the mayhem do not geographically overlap. Even so, city leaders and festival organizers are concerned the riot and the festival will be linked in people's minds, affecting the city's reputation and tourism prospects. Criminal charges are expected, police say, once the young men pictured on social media sites are identified. Charges can range from misdemeanors to the more serious felony level, depending on the police investigation. Keene police continue to seek the public's help in identifying the suspects. Our Facebook page has a link to the police press release and photos of perpetrators. Go online to facebook.com/YCN News Now to learn more. A link also can be found at keene.edu, the college's website. It remains unknown how many participants were KSC students, visitors from other colleges, or not students at all. Soon, information regarding individual health insurance plans for New Hampshire residents will be available. For 2015, residents seeking to buy their own health care plan per the nation's new medical insurance law will have more options. The enrollment date for next year begins November 15th and ends February 15th, 2015. New Hampshire Insurance Commissioner Roger Savini says plans include Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield, now the only insurer. Coming into the marketplace for next year are Assurant, Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, Minuteman Health, and Maine Community Health Options. To learn more about these companies' health provider networks, go to nh.gov/insurance. Tomorrow, a bridge closure may affect your travel plans in the Upper Valley. Between 2 and 6 a.m., the Route 4 bridge between West Lebanon, New Hampshire and Hartford, Vermont will be closed. All motorists will need to follow alternative routes either on I-89 or via Ledyard Bridge in Hanover, New Hampshire. If anyone has any questions regarding this closure, please contact engineer Jeffrey Potter of the New Hampshire Department of Transportation at 603-790-8354 or by email at jpotter@state.nh.us. When YCN News returns, we'll join Upper Valley Chronicles' Elizabeth DeRazio, who met with Heather Bachman from the Howe Library.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next few days and then move on to sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tonight we have an 80% chance of rain with a low of 43 degrees. Winds will average 5 to 10 miles per hour with some gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow we'll have a 40% chance of showers with winds up to 10 miles per hour. Skies will be cloudy with a high of 54 degrees. Tomorrow night we'll have lows in the 40s with a 30% chance of rain before 9 p.m. Saturday will be partly sunny with a high of 58 degrees and winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Saturday night we'll have a low of 42 degrees with a 50% chance of precipitation. And now let's take a look at our fall foliage report. We will continue to bring you foliage updates in New Hampshire and Vermont counties. Now let's see what's coming up on our community calendar. Tomorrow in Cornish, New Hampshire, the Select Board will meet at 3 p.m. In Norwich, Vermont, the Monshire Museum of Science will hold Teen Tinker Night from 6:30 to 8 p.m. In Enfield, New Hampshire, the Mary Keene Chapel will have the Phantom of the Opera at 7 p.m. At 7:30 p.m., Whipple Hall in New London will host Vintage Hitchcock live radio play. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. We have a local high school game to report on from yesterday. The Lebanon Raiders boys soccer team took on opponent Pembroke. Lebanon demonstrated their skills, shutting out Pembroke 3-0. YCN will continue to report on results of local high school games.
When YCN News continues, we'll join Capital Connections' John O'Connor.
The YCN News continues in a moment.